What up, chumbags? How you guys doing out there? As you can see, I have shaved my face, so I got baby Bentley face going on. I even get carded. Thank God I don't drink anymore, but I still get carded at the smoke shops now, which is funny because, shit, man, if I ever saw a 17-year-old that looked like me, he would be the gnarliest 17-year-old ever. Fucking no front teeth, tatted up, fake hip, like like I get it, like you gotta card people, but goddamn, bro, do I sound like I'm 17 years old? Anyways, so here's another edition of Bentley's Word. Today I'm gonna talk about something. This was a little topic that was brought up. I seen on Instagram the other day. I believe it was by C Mayo, which is a fellow angler from Virginia. And he had posted something about what is the biggest factor in fishing, or what's more important, skill or luck. Now, obviously, the simple answer to that is skill. Obviously, you got to have a lot of skill to fish. Anybody can catch a fish, obviously, especially if you go to specific areas, but skill is bar none the best, most important thing. Like when I think about skill, I think about all types of different things. First of all, in order to get skill in fishing, you have to spend the time. You have to spend the hours and hours and hours and hours. Skill is also learning and knowing how to work baits. Skill is very important, and knowing how to cast very well. Whether you're blind casting for fish in structure, throwing into mangroves, throwing into trees, lily pads. Um, let's see, what else? All that kind of stuff. That's very important. You need skill, because number one thing for me, I believe, is to catch the fish is you got to have a good cast. If you're looking at a fish that's waking in the flats, you got to lead that lure to that fish, so you're not spooking it. Or if you see a tailing red, you got to have a good cast. So that's very important. That's skill. Knowing how to read a body of water, knowing how to read conditions, knowing how to fish for the species you want to fish for. All these things are skill oriented and very important and very well needed to catch fish. And if you know these things and you just take your time and you're focused and you think like a fish, and you know how to tie better knots, and you know what type of leader to use and what type of reel and rod to use, all of these things come from experience, research, and these things are going to make you the better angler. Because I've gone out fishing with a lot of people that I think are great guys, that just fish occasionally, and they're just kind of blown away. Like, why? How are you catching so much more fish? We're at the same spot. And it's because I know how to use lighter leader. I know how much leader I need to use, what type of knots to use, putting a loop knot on the lure so it can swim better, changing the hooks out. These are all different things that are from skill and knowledge that are going to help you be a better angler. But there's a flip side to this, which is one of the more important reasons why I wanted to talk about skill versus luck. Because luck, any angler would tell you, luck has a lot to do with it, man. It's the game of 1,000 casts. You got to just hope that one of those 1,000 casts is gonna run right in front of that fish. And of course, there's skill involved. You got to know where to cast, but there's also luck involved in just throwing it in that right place. And every once in a while, a dog gets lucky, and it happens, and that's good. That's great. But my perspective on it is, in order to access luck, in order to get luck, you have to be persistent. If you go out and fish once a year, you're not going to get lucky that once a year. But if you're fishing every day and you're persistently out there on the water, you will get lucky. The more time you put on the water, the more time, even if it's only an hour out of the day, 30 minutes out of the day, in between rain or on your lunch break, if you're always out there on a body of water, even if it's a body of water you don't know, some of the biggest catches, some of the most random catches I've caught have just been just on a fluke. Just went out and just did some fishing in a new body of water, or threw some really big bait that I've never used before and caught an 8-pound bass, 7-pound bass, or caught a tarpon at a new area that I didn't even know they were at. So luck is definitely a big part of fishing. But in order to have lucky scenarios happen or lucky experiences, you still have to be out there on the water. Um, so is that really considered still luck? Because things happen to people that are on the water all the time. Even if you don't have a fishing pole, if you just sit and watch, if you're by some water, just sit and watch or walk around. You might see something or pick up something. I think a lot of times when people are fishing these days, if you're on a boat and you're running around, getting to your certain spot, or if you're on land and you're looking for peacocks on a nest, or you're just skipping to certain spots, you don't stop really and look, settle, and wait around to see what's going on. And when you put yourself in those situations and you pay attention and take your time, spend more time on that water, you're gonna have more lucky situations, more lucky scenarios. So all in all, I feel confident that I am gonna be successful in fishing every time I go, because I'm gonna use all the knowledge, all the skills that I've learned from failures and my own personal experiences, and also from following respected anglers that I follow and learning from their experiences. When I catch a big fish, I like to mark down what time of the day it was, what the weather was like. Was it raining? Was it overcast? What the moon phase was like? What the tide was like? If I have a really good day, or any particular things, I like to kind of jot down. So that puts me to know what scenarios to go fishing. And so when I go out, do I just have a lucky day? Not really, because I know that the fish were going to bite, and I knew that this has happened before in this scenario. It's probably a good time to go out there. So that it's more skill than luck. But at the same time, if you're going out there and you know that it's going to be a good day, then you might just get lucky and throw that worm in that right brush pile and pull out that 10-pounder. Or go in the flats the right day and run into a school of 100 redfish. So luck is always going to play a big part in fishing, man. And that's what makes it so fun. You just never know what's going to come your way. And that's kind of what keeps me from going home. I'll walk for hours and hours or stay on the boat for hours till I'm roasted. Because I know it could happen at any second. So luck is very important. But the only way you're going to achieve luck and have luck is by being out there in the water. Skill is always going to win every day. You got to be very skillful. You gotta learn from every circumstance. If something fucks up, like for instance, one time I caught a bass and I was fighting it too long and I pulled it in this way and I wanted to wear it out more, so I turned it back the other way. And when I did that, I basically unhooked the big 8/0 worm hook out of the fish's mouth. It sucked. It was big 6-7 pound largemouth, but I learned from it. I learned never to do that again. You can wear out a fish and keep your line tight, but don't ever, if it's laying on one side and the hook's hanging up, flip it back on the other side, because you just basically unhook it. So when you have bad scenarios, you learn from. When something really good happens, you mark it down and remember why or when and what the scenario was like, the situation was like, and you learn from that. I don't consider that luck. I just consider that being skillful and knowledgeable and knowing what the hell you're doing. So with that, I guess those are my thoughts on luck versus skill in fishing. Everybody's going to be lucky as long as you're out there playing the game. Besides that, see this piece of art behind me? I put that on my business card. So check it out. There's my new business card. It's got that on the front, and then on the back, I got all my information. So that's pretty cool. So I got my new business cards. First time I've ever had one, so I feel special and cool that I got that. And also because I've got that on this card, I can now get rid of this painting. So I'm going to have a raffle for that this weekend. It's a really cool painting. It is, I think, 28 by 24 inches. I don't have measuring tape on me right now, so I'm not really sure. But stay tuned to my Instagram pages, because I will be having that raffle in the next couple of days. I got plenty of hats out here, dad hats, snapbacks, several different designs, coming up with a new design for a pig pen hat. So I'm not going to stop, man. So you guys better jump on board. Ride this wave with me, man. I appreciate all the support. I love all you guys, man. Sometimes when I do these Bentley's words, I listen to them afterwards, and it seems like I come out a little negative. So I just wanted to maybe talk about something a little more positive, or just be a little more oriented and not putting other people down, because that's not what I want to do. I want to be a positive person. So thank you guys again. Good luck out there. Be a respected angler. Handle your fish properly. Don't fucking add inches and pounds on your shit. And just be a G about it, alright? Sheesh!